Did you recently buy your home and you want to learn how to reduce the taxes that you owe Uncle Sam? I'm Shadrya Patton and I'm helping you move and shake into your new Houston area home. I'm going to tell you the who, what, when, where, and how of homestead exemptions. Benjamin Franklin said it best, but in this world, there is nothing certain but death and taxes. Yeah, that's depressing, but it is the truth. The least I can do is help you to reduce how much you pay in taxes. First, let's talk about the who. Who qualifies for a homestead exemption? You have the right to receive exemptions or other tax relief for which you qualify and apply for timely. If you bought a home in 2021, or if you buy a home in 2022, you can potentially lower your property's taxable value. In prior years, you had to wait until the following year to lower the tax value of your home. A change in the law that became effective January the 1st of 2022 allows all home buyers to be eligible to receive the homestead exemption beginning on the date they obtain ownership. The buyer may file for a homestead exemption immediately after closing only if the seller did not have a homestead exemption on the property for the current tax year already. In addition to home buyers receiving an exemption, seniors over 65, individuals who are disabled, disabled veterans, and surviving spouses may also be eligible. Once you pull the form for your county, you'll see all the options. Even if you temporarily move away, you can still receive an exemption as long as you intend to return and you do not establish residence in another principal residence. All right, number 2, what is the homestead exemption? Before a recent change in the tax code, some home buyers were not eligible for a property tax homestead exemption until January the 1st of the year following their home purchase. This caused those home buyers to lose out on any benefit of the homestead exemption for up to a year after purchase of their homestead. The homestead exemption removes part of your home's value from taxation, and it saves you thousands of dollars on your property taxes. Obviously, the exemption has to be your actual homestead. Now, your homestead can be a single family, a duplex, condominium, or a manufactured home located on owned or leased land. The key is the individual filing for the homestead has to be living in the home and must own it in most circumstances. A homestead can include up to 20 acres if the land is occupied by the homeowner and used for the purpose related to residential use of the homestead. These exemptions can reduce city, county, school, and special district taxes. The homeowner must be an individual. For example, it can't be a corporation. All right, number 3, when? When should you apply for your homestead exemption? A new homeowner must apply for the exemption for the applicable portion of the tax year before the first anniversary of the date the homeowner acquired the property. There's no longer that requirement of applying by April the 30th as there was previously. The April 30th deadline, it does still apply to other types of exemptions, so you do want to double check with your county appraisal district just to confirm your dates. Now, you may be asking, what if I bought my home in 2021? Am I losing out with this new change? The answer is no. If it is your primary residence as of January the 1st this year, you still have until April the 30th of 2022 to file for your exemption. All right, number 4, where? Where do I file for the homestead exemption? Check directly with your appraisal office for all the particulars, but here are the 3 main steps for Harris County. You can simply download the HCAD mobile app to apply for the homestead or over 65 exemption. In Harris County, you want to fill out the Form 11.13, which is the application for residential homestead exemption, on their website at www.hcad.org/online services. Most appraisal districts will have this information available to complete online. And for those of you who still love to print and mail, You can download and print the application for residential homestead exemption from your appraisal district's website. All right, and finally, number 5, how? How do you file for your homestead exemption? Using the HCAD mobile app to apply for the homestead exemption or the over 65 exemption is as simple as taking a picture of the front and back of your Texas driver's license. To use the mobile app successfully, the name and address listed on your driver's license must match the name and property address on your account. To submit the homestead application, utilizing the mobile app, you will need 4 items: the date of occupancy on your residence, your Texas driver's license, an iPhone or an Android, and of course, you'll need to download the HCAD Info and Exemptions app, which can be found in the App Store or in Google Play. If you are completing the form online, the steps should be self-explanatory after you find the link online. If not, just call the county appraisal district. If you are downloading the form from the website, it can be either mailed or dropped off at the county appraisal office. Remember to include your driver's license. You can submit a temporary paper license with your application. When you have your updated license, you can then send that in. Now, if the property is not listed in your name, be sure to include a copy of your deed with the application. The Harris County Appraisal District receives property transaction reports for deeds that have been filed with the county clerk's office. So, when you purchase property in Harris County, you should always submit a form called a request to correct the name or address on real property account and include documentation for evidence. That documentation could be your title information, a copy of the recorded deed, a signed closing statement, or even a probated will. Verify that the property's ownership change is reflected on the tax rolls by contacting your county appraisal district office or using the property search feature available on all appraisal district office websites. Okay, so those are the who, what, when, where, and how of homestead exemptions. Please subscribe, hit the like button and the bell icon to be notified about new videos. There are 2 areas that deserve special attention. First, let's talk about our military personnel. Previously, due to its phrasing, the previous exemptions didn't include members of the military who died during their service due to injuries sustained that weren't in the line of duty. With the amended language, the Texas Constitution now grants the exemption to surviving spouses of a member of the armed forces who is killed in action, and now includes those service members who are killed or fatally injured during military training or other military duties. Without a surviving spouse, the surviving children, they can split the exemption. All right, last but definitely not least, we have our senior citizens that are over 65. On top of the regular homestead exemption, people over 65 can apply for an exemption or an additional homestead exemption from school district taxes. Actually, any taxing unit can offer additional exemptions. Now hear me out. Reaching 65 does not automatically exempt you from paying property taxes. You must apply and qualify for the over 65 exemption. If you have over 65 or even disability exemption, you should be benefiting from a tax ceiling applied to your school taxes. People sometimes incorrectly refer to this as a tax freeze, but it's really just a tax ceiling. The tax ceiling is set when you first qualify for either the over 65 exemption or the disability exemption. And generally, your school taxes can never go above that tax ceiling for as long as you live in your home. Taxes may, however, be lower than the ceiling for some years, but never higher. The only exception would be if you significantly improved your home by adding a new room or a second story. Normal repairs such as maintenance and new roof or new paint, that doesn't count. Now, if you decide to move, you can request a tax ceiling certificate from your former appraisal district, and that may help to reduce your taxes your school taxes on the new home. When you get the new exemption, you can benefit by transferring the percentage of school taxes paid on your former home. When the homeowner over 65 passes away, the exemption and the ceiling transfer to the surviving spouse if the spouse meets some criteria. All right, in summary, here are a few key points to remember. Make sure that you change the address on your driver's license. Make sure that address matches the homestead address. Get that done before you file. Just file for it. Even if you're unsure whether or not you qualify, it's super easy to apply via the Harris County app or the websites. Also, you can only receive a homestead exemption for one property within the same year. The exemption is not automatic. If you don't apply, you will not get it. Knowledge is power. Since I shared the knowledge, you now have the power to reduce your tax liability. I'm attaching a link in the description where you can download phone numbers, websites, and addresses to all of the Houston area county appraisal districts. Again, I'm Shadrya Patton with JPAR Realty. Please subscribe, hit the like button and the bell icon to be notified about new videos on moving and shaking around Houston.